I'm so lucky to be sitting here with Professor Michaela Aschan from the Norwegian College of Fishery Science. Welcome.
Thank you. Yes, I come from Tromsø, and we are. I'm at the Norwegian, the Arctic University of Norway. So we are kind of aiming at providing the new knowledge and training for the future in the Arctic.
And how is it to be here in Trondheim at Nordfishing this year?
Oh, it's exciting, to be honest. Nordfishing has always concurred with either surveys or teaching, because the semesters usually start this time. So being in this field for more than 30 years, it's the first time that I'm in Trondheim for Nordfishing.
So you work as a professor teaching, but you've also been working on a huge EU project regarding the move of fish stocks related to climate change.
Yes, I've been coordinating an EU project on the effects of climate change on fisheries and aquaculture. And of course, if we look into temperature effects on fish stocks, we know that temperature has a huge impact on all fish stocks in the world. Not only, in the north, where we have the biggest effect. So for instance, in the Barents Sea, we have seen in 10 years, we have seen 150 kilometers move of whole fish communities towards the Arctic.
What does that have to say for the traditional Arctic fish stocks that we are used to have in the Barents Sea?
If in the Barents Sea or in the Northeast Atlantic as such, we are lucky because we have a very big shelf area, and with the ice retreating, it opens up new areas for the fish to feed and grow. So we thereby have had an enormous increase, especially in our main commercial stock, the Northeast Atlantic cod. And the cod has doubled its biomass in very few years, and we have increased our fishery, and now the stock is declining, as is the haddock as well, because the cod has been predating on the haddock. So we have had a decline, and we don't really know if it's only because of the fisheries that the fish eat each other, or if there is actually a kind of limit on how much the stock can grow, and it has reached its limit, so there is not enough food for these stocks kind of to nourish. But it's very normal that you have these fluctuations, and both the Russian and Norwegian fishing authorities have agreed to reduce the quota accordingly.
But is there any clear patterns? Do you know how the fish will move in the future due to temperatures or other things that are kind of changing in the oceans?
They are very likely to continue to move northwards where they can. But if you're in the Mediterranean, you meet land. Yeah. If you're in the Barents Sea, you meet the shelf. It gets very north of Svalbard, up north in the Barents Sea. It suddenly gets very deep, and there is no bottom to thrive on. So many species kind of get trapped and they can't move further, and then they are likely to get extinct in the long run. But as I said, the sea area, the ocean that is having the best position now during climate change is the Northeast Atlantic, showing the biggest stocks, the best growth of these commercial stocks. But we know that the Arctic is now warming 4 times faster than the global average. And in addition, we observe marine heat waves, meaning that we are very uncertain about what the future will bring. At the same time, we also learned now in the previous lecture that the primary production is not in the middle of the Barents Sea anymore, it's more further north. So the polar front where the production is further north towards the shelf edge. And even if there is a lot of production, we are not sure that energy is going to be brought back into the sea, because our the circulation in the system is likely to reduce.
And what does this research do with you personally? What do you think about the future?
I'm very concerned. I'm concerned on behalf of all the fishermen in the world. I think we in northern Northeast Europe or Northeast Atlantic are in a very good position at the moment, but we haven't experienced yet these shocks that may come, like North Pacific or Arctic Pacific. They have experienced that full stocks get depleted, both kelp and fish, that are very dramatic changes. And we haven't experienced that yet, but it may come anytime. Just mismatch in the production or a storm when the larvae are supposed to feed on the phytoplankton may kind of mean that we lose a whole year class of a key stock.
Can be quite critical.
Very uncertain, very critical, very, very unforeseeable in many ways.
But what drives you towards like finding the answers on how we can do positive changes in the future?
I think we have a lot of knowledge. There is a lot of knowledge available, and it has been very well summarized in these panel of climate change, International Panel of Climate Change reports. These reports are up to 1,400 pages, and I don't expect everybody to read them, but they have very nice summary reports. And this knowledge should be translated into action in management, in the industry. And I think that we have a challenge in getting the right information to the right places to kind of adjust and adapt to the coming changes. So we kind of encourage both the industry and managers to apply and to develop climate adaptation plans to ensure that we are kind of in the right position to tackle sudden changes that are coming.
Thank you so much, Michaela, for your time.
Thank you.
With me in studio, I have the honor to present the Minister of Fisheries and Ocean Politics, Bjørnar Skjæran. Welcome.
Thank you very much.
It's so nice having you.
It's so nice to be here. It's been 4 years since the last Norfishing, and that we can meet again after the pandemic, and there we can make new friendships, talk to old friends. You know, the innovation, it's a everyday job, but to meet and the innovation you can get when people meet again, it's very important, and it's social.
Of course. Not at least social. And I know you went to the gala dinner yesterday, and you had a busy day yesterday, you're gonna have a busy day today. Can you point out some of like your highlights of Norfishing so far?
First of all, it's so nice to meet all those who work in this fantastic industry. And we have been around here, and I'm more than a little interested in special equipment, so I like to look at what those who presents equipment.
You like to touch it?
Yeah, of course, and we also had some debates. I think that it's important that we can debate how the fishing industry can grow, how we can make more value creation. This is very important to the coastal community. So there is a lot of things to discuss, and we also discussed about the aquaculture and about green shipping. So I have a lot of things in my responsibility, and here I can discuss most of it, and I like it. Yeah.
Of course, and also you're in good company. You're not the only minister visiting Norfishing this year. We have a lot of global guests.
Yes, and today I also have 2 bilateral meetings with Brazil and Nigeria, countries that are important as markets for Norwegian fisheries. So we try to work hard during these days and use all opportunities to make a difference.
That's very important. And also yesterday at the gala dinner, those who have been watching actually saw a few clips. I don't know if they understood what was happening, but somehow you ended up being the entertainment yesterday.
Yeah, you know Eric, he's and you are. Yeah. I think you had the best moment, but to me it's no problem. We had some jokes on the stage, and to me it's okay.
We are very proud to have a Minister of Fisheries and Ocean Politics that are so cool, laid back, down to earth. I'm very proud.
Nice to hear.
It's very nice having you, Bjørnar. Thank you for your time. I know you're busy, so thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
I'm here with the famous Captain Sig Hansen of the Northwestern. We all know you from TV, and your fisheries out in the tough waters of Alaska.
But you forgot to say the good-looking Captain Sig from
I apologize.
Yeah.
Your lawyers will talk to my lawyers about that. But welcome to Trondheim.
Yep.
It's good to have you here. And of course, you are of Norwegian heritage. Your father from Karmøy?
Ja, både mor og far. Mor mi og far mi er fra Karmøyene. Yes.
Hvordan har du klart å holde så godt på Karmøy-dialekter da? Snakk til deg hjemme?
I'm going to tell you a story.
Ja.
Så første dag i skolen, første klasse, så fikk jeg I got a note from the teacher.
Ja.
Og så skrev hey, Mrs. Hansen, det var mor mi. So, you need to speak English in the house. For at jeg kunne ikke engelsk. Norwegian was my first language. Så jeg fikk beskjed at nå må du bare snakke engelsk, mens du er i Amerika.
Ja.
Så ble det.
Så men det var jo, it was, pardon me for speaking Norwegian, it's so interesting to hear about your Norwegian language while living in Seattle, but it's a huge Norwegian community there.
Very big. And even like in Ballard, we have, like for 17. Mai, for example.
Ja.
Det er 15-20 000 mann som går bare i den paraden, right?
Yeah.
So it's a very big community. So all of those people communicate together, and they speak Norwegian, and they live, as a community.
Yeah,
So-
you see these subcultures many places in the world, like
It's very
in
nice.
Chinatown, but in Seattle it's Karmøy town.
Norwegian.
Karmøy town. But so you had really, coming from a Norwegian fisheries family for generations, there was
Yeah.
no choice for you in picking your occupation.
Well, my grandmother, who mor på Sandane, så de bodde på Sandane, sant? Der fotballbane, that's where the beach is in Okra.
Yeah.
So she wanted me to be a preacher. So she said, ja, men du skal være prest, du. That was her dream for me.
Because you were so persuasive.
I'm such a nice person. And I said, I don't want to be a preacher. I want to be a fisherman.
Yeah.
And so I promised her, I said, well, maybe someday I'll be a preacher, But now I'm preaching.
Now you're actually preaching sustainable fisheries. And you're doing
Exactly.
that together with Helge here.
So I kept my promise to my grandmother,
Yeah.
and I did my job, and now we're here, and we are preaching sustainability for the next generation.
Yeah, you're a much nicer person than I thought. But tell me, Helge, what are you hoping to accomplish with working with SIG and also working with sustainable fisheries?
Yeah, there's a huge problem with loss of fishing gear, and he can talk to that. But around 10% of all fishing gear is lost to sea every year. And of course, this is a huge problem in terms of ghost fishing, in terms of plastic pollution and everything. So we've developed a backup buoy. So when you lose your gear, then after a set amount of days, you can program with an app, a backup buoy floats to the surface, and you can now retrieve your lost fishing gear. So this kind of breaks that cycle of perpetual...
That's a genius.
It's
Yes.
the only company on planet Earth that has this technology, number one. So I'm telling you right now.
Because you have all these cages I've seen on TV,
Well,
right?
he chased me down for about a year, and had this been 10, 15 years ago, I wouldn't believe in it, but now I do because it's a new world.
And have you experienced them previously that you lost a lot of these cages?
I've lost more pots than you can ever imagine.
And now with this system, which sounds like, it's almost like the little thing that Apple makes that you put in your luggage.
Yeah, almost. Yeah, only bigger.
Only bigger.
Yeah, you need more size.
And what are you hoping to achieve with this?
Well, it's to reduce the amount of pollution, and of course for the fishermen too, the cost, the replacement cost to buy new gear all the time. So we are.
So it's a win-win.
It's a win-win for everybody.
For me, if I buy one crab pot today, you know, back in the day in the 80s, I would pay $300-400. Today, I'm paying $1,600, $1,800, almost $2,000.
For one pot?
Det 20,000 kroner for et heina.
Ja, det 20,000.
Ja, men tenk på det. Do the math.
Yeah.
Sant? So,
and this technology is unique.
It does cost money, but the money you save when you lose all these pots, it comes back to you. Yeah. And it does help the environment. So that's the whole idea.
It's a great idea. And you're hoping that you'll meet some interesting fishermen here and persuade them to take better care of their gear in this manner.
Exactly. And we have a discussion tonight on a stage somewhere, discussing our solution with SINTEF and with actually Minister of Fisheries from Canada joining on video link.
Yeah, and
so
it's a good thing you came. Are you going through Karmøy on the way back to get the Kanutapulsa med Robelerace? I wish you a wonderful stay in Trondheim, and I'm really impressed by the technology. And Sig was much nicer guy than I thought.
Yeah, pretty good.
Good luck.
Jag ser